I knew I shouldn't have went with the Lakers. That was a mess up on my end. They suck. I mean, they just suck. I mean, there's nothing more I can say. Rebounding was terrible. Everything was bad. Had it tied at halftime, bro. I thought I was going to hit that. I was pretty excited about it. Anthony Davis only takes 1 3. I mean, at least Giannis hit his total. But, I mean, besides that, it was a pretty rough night last night. But you know what? This is what we do. We mess up and then we come in and we try to do better the next day. But you know what? We're probably going to fail on these ones as well. But we got a different sport today. We got Thursday Night Football coming up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers live from Tampa. And first bet that I got is the over 45.5. Yes, I'm taking the over on this, even though the Buccaneers have been terrible. Tom Brady has not been able to do anything. He's finally showing his crusty, musty, and dusty self. His 40, how old is he now? 43, 44. I mean, the man's like 80. He seems like he's 80 now, So, but this is the thing, though, about Tom Brady, and this is why he's the GOAT. When this man gets mad, he just will go off. He just goes off. And Tampa's mad. Tampa Bay losing to the Christian McCaffrey-less Carolina Panthers last week. They're mad, bro. This team is not doing what they're supposed to. They're lucky that they're in probably the shittiest division in football, the NFC South. And I think in this game, even if they don't win it, they got them favored to win, but even if they don't win it, points are going to be scored in this game. But let's look at these over-under records for both of these teams. The Baltimore Ravens are 2-5 over-under record this season, and Tampa is 1-6. Get the barf bags out. 1-6. It's bad, bro. It's really bad. I mean, this might be one of the biggest fails that I ever have in a bet, going the over 45.5, and this thing ends up being a 10-3 game, ends up being just a Ryan suck-up field goal, and the Bucs win it 3-0, and I'm going to be pretty embarrassed, but I think points are going to be scored in this game. The Ravens are giving up 23 points per game through the first 7, and Tampa's giving up 17.7 points per game. And I just like that the Ravens are giving. The Ravens' pass defense is awful. It's really bad. I think Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they're going to go off in this game. Tom Brady's going to most likely throw multiple touchdowns in this one. I really like that the Ravens, all their corners are bet. You also have Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters as of right now questionable to play. That is also a very interesting thing. So I think points are going to be scored. Lamar Jackson, even though Tampa's D is better, I don't know. I think that I see this being, at least I see this barely covering. I see this barely hitting 46. So this is at -110 on BetMGM. I do like this one. But this is a risky one. This might be one that really comes back and just F's me in the ass. But we'll find out, and we'll see what happens. So that's what I got. The Bucs and Ravens over 45.5 on BetMGM at -110. Let's move on and go Mike Evans. Let's talk about those two corners that might not play, and Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. Mike Evans over 68.5 receiving yards at -115 on DraftKings. He has hit this in 4 of 7 games this season. And the Ravens, they're giving up the third most receiving yards to wide receivers. They're giving up 191.5 yards per game to the wide receiver position alone. Mike Evans is Mike Evans, the primary target. It doesn't even matter if Marcus Peters and Humphrey play. He still will most likely get to 70 yards in this one. But if they don't play, he is most definitely going to crush this total, possibly even go over 100 yards in this game. With the spread being as close as it is, they got a lot. Most of the books have the Buccaneers at 1 point. If this thing is close, there's going to be, it's going to go back and forth. And I really just feel like Tom Brady is going to prove himself. And if Tom Brady is going to prove himself, these receivers are going to, they're going to benefit from Tom Brady slinging the ball around. And I like Mike Evans here at over 68.5 yards. So that's at DraftKings at -115. 15. So those are my 2 Thursdays. I got 1 hockey, 1 basketball as well on this Thursday. And let's go with Drake Batherson. Drake Batherson at over 2.5 shots on goal at plus 105 on DraftKings. I think this is a steal. This is an absolute steal of a line. This line probably later in the day is going to be skyrocketed into the negative odds. I really believe that. I know the Wild have been better defending. Only 3 guys in the last 3 games on the top line against Minnesota have gotten to this total, gone over 2.5. But again, dude, Drake Batherson has been on a tear, having 4 or more shots on goal in 3 straight games. And even though the Wild have been a little bit better lately, overall, they're giving up their 6th worst in shots against through 60, giving up 35.2 shots per game. And he's only played this team twice in his career, and he's 1-1 against them. But I'm telling you, man, where you get this at plus odds, and also him doing this in 3 straight games, crushing this total. 4 or more shots. He had 4 shots in 2, 5 shots in 1. All he has to do is get 3 here, man, and it's at plus odds. I don't care if Minnesota's been a little bit better lately. I don't trust it. I'm going Drake Batherson here. Every time I look at this dude's line, I'm like, maybe I should take it. He always crushes it. I'm like, I need to finally take it. I was expecting this to be at negative odds. Right now, it's at plus 105 on DraftKings. Take this before it gets too juiced. It's going to go up to, I bet, into the negative 110 range, possibly even into the negative 120 range. This is just too low. I was thinking it was going to be plus odds at 3.5. That's where I thought it was going to open at, but it opens at 2.5. Take this before it changes. Drake Batherson over 2.5 shots on goal. And then I got a 2-leg money line in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. This is at plus 143 on DraftKings. I'm targeting the 2 teams that just played last night, the Brooklyn Nets playing in Milwaukee and the Miami Heat playing in Portland. I don't know. I just look at Golden State. They just lost. They just got their butts kicked the other night. I really think with all that craziness with Klay Thompson and Devin Booker, it's just, I don't know. I just really think that Golden State is just going to come into this game against Miami and they're just going to whoop them. They're going to, I just don't see Golden State losing 2 straight games. So I'm taking the Golden State Warriors. And then the Dallas Mavericks. The Brooklyn Nets just, I don't know, man. They had a tough game against Giannis and the Bucks. They have to travel back from Milwaukee back to Brooklyn. And we don't even know if Durant and Irving are going to play. Steve Nash gets kicked out of the game, bro. We don't even know what's going on with that dude. But we don't know if they're going to give him the day off because, they had to play a tough team in Milwaukee. They might give Durant, at least Durant, the day off. I don't know. But either way, even if both those guys playing on a back-to-back, coming back from Milwaukee, back to Brooklyn, I just see Dallas getting this thing done. I just trust Luka and the Mavericks way more than I do Durant, Irving, and the Nets. I don't know. Brooklyn's just been, they've been very vanilla. So I'm taking Dallas and Golden State here, plus 143 on DraftKings. I think they're going to get this thing done. So those are my bets for this Thursday, October 27th. This has been Booksmart, and I'll talk to you guys later.